to me, doesn't who pick who he fight with.
Right.
Like if you sit there and you go, oh, I'm not going because this nigga.
Him, but I fuck this one.
Yeah, I think I can take him.
Right.
To me, doesn't who pick who he fight with.
Right.
Like if you sit there and you go, oh, I'm not going because this nigga.
Him, but I fuck this one.
Yeah, I think I can take him.
Right.
You want to fight the.
Like I got out there, they showed me a lot of love. But Shreveport had the infrastructure already here. Like even the tax incentive was put back.
Well, yeah. And so a lot of people have been talking about, man, he's here only because they gave him a cheap deal or something like that. The reality is there's more to that deal than that. Way more.
They can't see.
Break that down.
I'm spending $20 million this year anyway in the same building that they're saying was the cheap building.
Right.
So find somebody else.
People play with people intelligence the way they play with people intelligence and intellect. You know, the way they do today. You know, people are telling lies for a living. You know what I mean?
Tony Yayo just rolled up on J Prince and dropped a bomb that could be the wildest extortion move hip-hop's ever seen. Word is, J Prince tried to pull that whole check-in hustle on 50 Cent. But instead of backing down, 50 called the whole thing out, daring J Prince to even try him.
Stupid, right?
Yeah.
You're stuck on stupid and you're not using your powers or access to powers that you have. You're looking at it as a negative versus a positive. You know, we all know if you can tap into good people wherever you go.
Wherever, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a blessing.
What started as quiet beef just blew up into an all-out war between Houston's street bosses and G-Unit's no-nonsense squad. But to really break down this chaos, we gotta spin it back to where the smoke between 50 Cent and J Prince even sparked off.
And Junior was walking by. He actually went in the restroom to wash blood off his hand where he had reached up on the takeoff. He had to pick him up and his fingers went in it, you know.
J Prince, the man behind Rap-A-Lot Records, is basically the OG blueprint of a street kingpin. He runs Houston like a storm you don't see coming, never too loud, always pulling strings from the shadows.
We need to change the word for the youngsters. The checking in part, you know, is they seem to get hung up on that word, checking in.
Yeah.
So if we could diversify that word and bring it up to a 2021 thing.
Right. What's the word, OG? What's the word?
Maybe we may want to tell them they need to get.
People don't just respect J Prince out there, they fear him. And not because he's flashy about it, but because his name been heavy in the streets for decades. If you were an artist touching down in H-Town and didn't check in, you might leave chainless, or not leave at all. That's where 50 Cent comes in, the one rapper who never played those mob games, not even back in his grimy come-up days.
Don't turn me down. What you said? Don't turn me down, bitch. I don't, folks. Don't turn you down. Yeah, man, what you on, folks? What you mean what I'm on? What you on, man? What the deal there? What up? What up? You want to buy your shit back or what? You ain't get you flunked out ass little nigga. I'm trying to see where you at. You dumb mother. What you got, $20 out of car? Nah, nigga, you know what we got, nigga. Stop that cap. Man, crazy as a motherfucker. Nigga, capping, bro. They gonna believe anything. You want me to start my car? I just took a picture in the same car today with my little boy. You.
Back when 50 Cent was beefing heavy with Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, and the whole Murder Inc. crew, he built his name by never backing down. His G-Unit brand was stamped with a militant mindset. No checking in, no bowing down, and for sure no paying for protection. That savage attitude set the tone early on, so when whispers started flying about 50 maybe relocating to Houston, it was already setting up a serious turf war.
Oh, you know what I mean? Because the little homie young boy place got broke into, people went in his place, disrespected different things, and you know, I got a call about it. And the little homies that went into this place want to make that right because they understand that, you know what I mean, young boy family is okay with me. And as you can see, homie, to make a long story short, I got your keys to your Rolls Royce, I got your keys to your McLaren, You know, all that shit that they took. And the homie, Shakur, what you got, homie?
You got your Rolls Royce umbrellas, you got your keys, you got a bunch of other shit, so.
Because if 50 Cent pulled up in H-Town without checking in with Jay Prince, that's straight up disrespect. And guess what? It went down. At first, their beef stayed on some long-distance Cold War vibes. 50 was in New York doing what he does best, clowning everybody on social media, while Jay Prince was running Houston like the street boss he is. They threw slick shots here and there, but kept it from getting too messy. Until 50 casually dropped a nuke on Twitter. "I love New York, but I live in Houston now. I'll explain later." Boom. Just like that. 50 didn't move for clout. He moved with purpose. New York taxes were draining his pockets, and Houston made serious business sense. Lower taxes, bigger spaces, and a hip-hop scene ready to explode. Plus, his Branson Cognac brand needed a strong southern hub, and Houston's liquor game was straight up booming. 50 had a whole vision laid out: tap into the culture, blow up his brand even bigger, and flood Houston with entertainment money. But there was one big problem. He didn't check in. Jay Prince took that move real personal. Word on the street is, Jay felt like 50 was trying to come into his city and act like the king without ever kissing the ring. Allegedly, Jay Prince even sent some people to apply pressure. Some say he tried to make 50 cough up cash for that so-called street-level protection. But 50, man, he wasn't having none of it. He told his G-Unit squad straight up, "We roll with our own security and we don't pay to move around. Respect is earned, not bought."
What should have happened? What do you say to that?
What I would say to that is, you know, I have a track record, man. Prince family have a track record of 30 plus years of, you know what I mean, honoring and loving on our guests and being with our guests, and no shit like this never happened. But here's the thing, and this is what people don't understand. We ain't never had nobody to attack us, if you know what I mean. You know, when a man attack a situation with a weapon, then, you know, it become a playing field where, you know, any and everything.
Things got real spicy after that. Jay Prince allegedly tried to hit 50 with a no-fly zone over Houston, basically sending the message, "You ain't welcome here." Now let's keep it real. That kind of move might scare off some small-time artists. But 50, he clowned the whole thing on Instagram like it was a full-blown comedy special. Memes, shady captions, sneak disses. 50 made it crystal clear he wasn't playing nobody's mob games. He even dared Jay Prince to step up. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, 50 was busy plotting a $20 million G-Unit film and TV studio right there in Houston. This move would have sparked jobs, internships, and major buzz all through the city. But out of nowhere, the whole project got shifted to Shreveport, Louisiana. Officially, 50 said it was because the infrastructure was better. But if you were really watching, you know that ain't the full story. The street politics in Houston were getting way too heated, and 50 wasn't about to dance with no snakes. Here's where it gets real poetic though. Jay Prince might have tried to run 50 out of town, but Houston had a whole different vibe. In 2022, just a year after 50 first touched down in H-Town, the city wasn't just letting him rock. They were celebrating him. The mayor of Houston, Sylvester Turner, straight up handed 50 Cent the key to the city during the annual Thanksgiving Day parade. He even declared November 24th as 50 Cent Day. Wild, right? Turner stood up there and called him a philanthropist, an entrepreneur, and gave him big props for supporting high schoolers through his G-Unity program. The whole crowd went crazy. 50 was standing on that float like he was born and raised right there in the H. And he wasn't just putting on a show. Through his G-Unity Foundation, 50 started putting in real work. Turkey drives, toy giveaways, school donations. He was giving back heavy. 50 even linked up with the Houston Rockets, Texans, and Astros through his Sire Spirits brand, making real power moves. In 2023, he dropped $850,000 worth of toys for the city. Then in 2024, he helped pull in another $500,000 for the Houston Children's Charity. The man wasn't just showing up, he was straight up changing the game. And check this, At one event, he auctioned off 2 giant bottles of his Le Chemin du Roi champagne and helped raise a mind-blowing $6 million.
Hey, I don't no friends, I don't no new relationships. All that. Hey, I don't respect none of that shit, man. If you got something for me, man, they got plenty of around me you could call. Man, nigga, it's plenty ways you can get in touch with me. Man, don't get on no internet and do nothing publicly. Don't do nothing dealing with no publicity, none of that pussy and shit. And I'm good on the keys, gangster. When you buy shit cash, two keys come with the car anyway. Man, you
50 was running up numbers like crazy while building real love in the city. Meanwhile, Jay Prince was allegedly watching all this like a dethroned king. The man who once ran Houston from the shadows now had to watch somebody else get celebrated right in broad daylight. That's when Tony Yayo, G-Unit's loudest soldier, stepped in. During a Vlad TV interview, Yayo finally broke it all down. Why they never played that check-in game. According to Yayo, G-Unit moved militant for a reason, because he knew the real deal. He said straight up, the whole check-in system is just a slick setup to line rappers up for extortion. You check in, you pay up, or you risk getting robbed. Yayo explained how Jay Prince built his name off this Protect the Artists Act, calling himself the king of H-Town and pushing a fake-friendly system called checking in. Sounds harmless until you realize it's just a glorified extortion hustle. Here's how the so-called rules went down. If you're an artist sliding into Houston, you were expected to check in with Jay Prince, pay your respects. And by respects, they mean run your pockets. Supposedly, it was all about keeping you safe, making sure that if your chain went missing, it magically came back. But if you didn't check in, that's when things got real messy. Yayo even brought up Pop Smoke's death as a cold warning. When artists don't lock down their own security or lean too hard on street alliances, they become walking targets. Yayo kept it blunt. Street protection always comes with strings attached. And when the smoke clears, don't expect anyone to actually save you. He didn't stop there either. He warned that all this mob ties and gangster flexing would end up putting feds on everybody's head. Like, this ain't the 90s anymore. When you're talking mafia-style extortion and rappers getting lined up, you're talking RICO charges. Yayo said it plain, G-Unit wasn't playing none of those games. They'd rather stay dangerous and independent than owe favors to street dudes with shady agendas. And it gets even uglier. NBA YoungBoy pulled up to Houston for some business, refused to check in, and boom, his spot got hit. Chains gone, cash snatched, car keys vanished without a trace. Then out of nowhere, Jay Prince pops up on Instagram acting like some savior, claiming he got the stolen goods back. But instead of hitting YoungBoy up private, he posted a whole video. Why? YoungBoy clapped back hard. YoungBoy clapped back saying if Jay Prince was really trying to help, he wouldn't be out here posting on Instagram like some 60-year-old clout chaser. Shots fired.
Older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little niggas. Like, the way you talking, I don't get what you mean. We're not your little niggas. Like, for real, all that big homie stuff, that's for little niggas. Little niggas have big homies. We're not little niggas, so we don't even respect big homies. I know Killer doesn't, and for me, I never respected niggas in the streets. That's why I always got...
Cameron and Mahe even jumped into the mix, dragging Jay Prince for acting like he still runs the streets. They kept it 100. Real OGs are supposed to uplift, not extort. And if you're still playing mob boss in your 60s, they said you already failed. Then you got the dice games, aka Jay Prince's second favorite hobby right after intimidation. These high-stakes games are legendary in Houston, but not for the reasons you might think. Whispers been floating for years that these games were rigged setups to trap rappers. And the most heartbreaking example? Takeoff. We all remember how Takeoff lost his life after one of these dice games spun out into a deadly shootout. But here's what the street's been saying. It wasn't just random beef. Word is Jay Prince was salty that Takeoff and Quavo didn't check in properly. So allegedly, he told his crew to teach them a lesson. It was supposed to be minor, just a little scare. But it turned deadly. Takeoff's life was stolen that night, and when the dust settled, Jay Prince dodged accountability like a pro. Every time somebody brings it up, he just deflects, mumbles, and tries to sweep the whole thing under the rug. Jay Prince basically admitted he destroyed evidence. Crazy, right? And guess what? Takeoff wasn't the only victim in this dirty game. Remember Duke the jeweler won $100,000 in a dice game, probably thinking it was the best night of his life. But before he could even make it to his car, he got ambushed, robbed, and tragically killed. Just like that, another talented black man gone. Over what? Rigged games and a crooked code of honor that don't protect nobody. So when you line this up next to 50 Cent, who's out here building community centers and feeding families, there's no competition. It's crystal clear who's really doing something for Houston. One man is building a legacy, the other's keeping the streets locked down with old-school fear tactics. And get this, 50's not just trolling for laughs anymore. Word is, he's allegedly collecting evidence behind the scenes. Talking to people, gathering real proof that this whole check-in system is just a full-blown extortion racket. He's even dropped little hints that the feds might already be peeking into it. And if that happens, it's game over. 50's not the type to bluff, he plays chess, not checkers. Right now, he's dropping memes. But behind the scenes, he's lining up moves that could shake the whole game to the core. 50 might just be stacking a legal case right now, or maybe he's saving all those receipts for the ultimate takedown. One post, one leak, one tip to the feds, and it could be lights out for Jay Prince's whole run. One man's holding on to the streets, but the other one? He's got the city behind him, and let's be real, only one of them is actually winning this war. 50 Cent didn't just move to Houston, he took over. While Jay Prince was allegedly busy trying to run artists out the city, 50 pulled up, got celebrated by the mayor, and built real programs that gave back to the people. And now, that whole check-in empire might be crumbling right in front of everybody's eyes. So you tell us, who's really running Houston now? The street boss hiding in the shadows? Or the man holding the key to the city? Drop a comment and let us know. Is 50 Cent going too far? Or is he the hero hip-hop didn't even know it needed to expose all this shady street politics? Make sure you like, subscribe, share this video and hit that comment section. And don't go nowhere. It gets way messier in the next one. See you there.